You ever find yourself standing in a room with someone you love, feeling like you're miles apart, even though you're just a few feet away? It's like there's this invisible wall between you, and no matter how hard you try to break it down, the words just get stuck in your throat. I think we've all been there, right? You're staring at each other, and the silence is so thick you could cut it with a knife. You want to say something, anything, but what do you say when everything feels broken? Let's talk about Emma and Jake for a moment. They're a couple like many of us, navigating the ups and downs of a relationship. One night, in the dim light of their living room, the tension was palpable. Emma, feeling the weight of Jake's distance, finally decided enough was enough. She confronted him, and you could feel the raw emotion in her voice. "You think I don't notice?" she said, slicing through the silence. And that's the thing, isn't it? We notice. We notice when our partners pull away, when the late-night excuses start piling up, and when the eye contact fades. But here's the kicker. Confrontation is scary. It's uncomfortable. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, knowing you have to jump, but terrified of what's waiting for you at the bottom. Jake, on the other hand, was exhausted. He didn't want to face the truth, and honestly, who does? It's easier to bury your head in the sand, to pretend everything is fine. But as Emma pointed out, ignoring the problem doesn't make it disappear, it only festers. Now, I want you to think about your own relationships. When was the last time you had an honest conversation about how you really feel? Not just the small talk, but the deep stuff that keeps you up at night? It's hard, right? But Emma and Jake's exchange teaches us something vital. Vulnerability is key. They both admitted they were scared and hurt, and that's where the real conversation began. When Jake finally said, "I don't know how to fix this," it was a turning point. It's a moment many of us can relate to. We've all felt lost at some point, unsure of how to navigate the messiness of love and connection. But here's the thing. Admitting that you're lost is the first step toward finding your way again. And when Emma suggested they start being honest, it was like a light bulb moment. Sometimes, the loudest fights pave the way for the quietest truths. It's in those heated moments that we can discover what really matters. Do they want to fight for their marriage? That's the question we all need to ask ourselves. Are we willing to put in the effort to rebuild, to reignite the spark that once brought us together? So, if you're feeling that distance, don't shy away from the hard conversations. Embrace them. Yes, it might be uncomfortable. Yes, it might lead to tears and raised voices. But it could also lead to a deeper understanding of each other, to a renewed commitment to your relationship. At the end of the day, every relationship has its challenges. The key is to face them head-on. So, the next time you find yourself in that dimly lit room, remember, you have the power to turn the tension into a conversation, and ultimately, into connection. Because sometimes, it's in the messiness of our interactions that we find the clarity we've been searching for all along.